All right.
Hello.
Hi, Kayla. How are you doing?
I'm good. Well, I'm better now. I've been able to sit with my feelings a little bit, so we're in a better headspace today.
Yeah, that's better. That's good then. So I want to ask you, you were nominated, first you were nominated during the movie night massacre. And
Yes.
then the next week you were backdoored by your close ally, Avery. So I want to ask, where do you think you went wrong in the game?
I think it did start from Movie Massacre. Because after that point, with Avery in specific, I think that Goose's comment to me and me feeling the need, which I don't know why I did now, but me feeling the need to tell other members of my alliance what he had said to me and not tell Spicy. I think that was a red flag for her. And then because again of Movie Massacre and what I thought Todd had done to me, and knowing that Todd and Bailey were so close, I was worried about Bailey in the game as well. So I think me even pitching a backdoor Bailey plan, kind of again another red flag as to should I really be trusting her, and especially with what all the other stories that were told about me. I think it was easy for her to come to that decision when she only had one side of it.
hmm Okay, so now that all of this has occurred, do you regret choosing to work with the hot chocolates throughout the game?
No, I don't. I still, even in that moment when I could have blown up that game, I didn't want to, because yes, it was my alliance that I think threw me under the bus a little bit. Um, I still wanted to get the job done. I had a goal coming into this house, seeing the people that came into this house. I thought there was a really good opportunity for us to do that. We divided and conquered. We were so close to doing that. I probably would have tried to keep more to myself. I think that was an error that I had. Um,
hmm
and maybe it was just me blindly trusting too hard. But I definitely should have thought more about what I was saying and the repercussions of saying it before telling anybody about, thinking before I speak, essentially.
So can you talk to me a little bit more about that goal that you had with the hot chocolates, what it meant for you, and why you didn't expose their games after everything that happened?
Well, in this game, in this world, representation is so important, and I wanted to come into this game, and I wanted to see a woman of color win this game. When I saw there was four of us and then a fifth came in, I was like, what are the odds of this even happening? And instantly seeing that, I knew that I we had to work together to some extent, and us being able to work different sides of the house and different personalities. Some of us were more outgoing than others. Um, I really think and still think that we had such a good chance of really making this happen. And I think with the last week, there was only Todd, Bailey, and Tola that was in our way at that point. So again, I kept reiterating that my point to wanting to backdoor Bailey was only because I wanted to keep hot chocolate intact, because I knew that if Todd stayed in the game, Tola went home, and Todd, let's say Todd won HOH next week, he would have no choice. He wouldn't put up Bailey on the block. He would put two of us on the block at the same time. And that was something that we didn't want to happen. So I think that's why I was so persistent with, okay, well, if Todd pulls himself off the block, maybe we should consider putting Bailey up to at least um, isolate them a little bit and split that duo up, because Tola was on his own. So at least if Tola and Bailey were still kept in the game together, they could kind of go after each other
hmm
as we've been doing the rest of the game. But I think we got caught up with the fake alliances that we were working with, and they actually started to manifest themselves into real ones. That I think that's why Avery really started to like Bailey and wanted to keep her in the game. And I think that's why, truly, I think that's why Anthony and Lexus also wanted to keep Tola in the game. And I think they were worried about, on Anthony's side of it, I think he and Lexus was worried about Lexus and Tola going up at the same time, because that's two
hmm
people on their side.
Fair enough. So you kind of talked about this in the house meeting that you called, and I kind of want to ask, do you feel like you could have done anything differently in that house meeting?
Um, I Part of me wishes that I had um a hot chocolate meeting instead of maybe a whole house meeting. But again, I tried to do in a way that I didn't want to, okay, well, why are you pulling only these people sort of thing, and blow up that game. But I think because especially with Bailey sitting there and, she was, her point was, well, you're trying to backdoor me. I think I probably would have tried to have more separate conversations first and more private conversations first, understood where certain comments came from. And then if I felt the need to bring it all together, then I would have brought it all together. But I think in the moment, I was just so stern on, no, I didn't say these things. I want everybody to know that I didn't say these things. I want to put these people on blast. But I
Hmm.
think now I understood that, okay, well, it was sort of a situation where it was 2-on-1. Whereas, I know Spicy and Avery were also upset with me at that point, but
Hmm.
it was Anthony and Lexus that kind of, I don't know to what extent of them orchestrating this, but it was their word against mine. So I
Hmm.
wish that I had had more private conversations, I think, before I brought it all together. But
Yeah, that's fair enough. So I want to ask you because now you're in the jury house, you get a vote to for the winner. So I want to ask, who do you think is playing the best game at this point?
I think I think Anthony is playing a good game. I think he's working and has made a lot of good relationships in the house. But I also think that his, not bad relationships, but the opposite end relationships where people want him out. I think people are also too afraid to make a move on him. So I think he's set himself up comfortably enough to have the support and the votes. And I think people are fearful of him staying. Like, if you're going to make a move on Anthony, it's got to hit. And I
Hmm.
think people were really hesitant to do that because they weren't sure of where everybody else's relationships were with him. So I think he's in a good position. I think I think Avery is also in a decent position, and Spicy actually, because they both, I think Spicy's playing a really strong social game. And I think Avery is kind of her competition winner person. Like, I think that they rely on each other a lot. I think the three of us relied on each other a lot, which is why I felt so close to the both of them. Um, but I think if they're able to work together, continue to work together, and I think Spicy could really handle the social side, and Avery could handle the competitions side. But I think out of the three of them, they have a good chance.
Okay. So who are the three people who you're least likely to give your jury vote to then, do you feel?
I would probably say Todd, Tola. See, and here's where I get stuck because I want to say Bailey for the sake of hot chocolate because I want one of them to win so bad, but I really appreciated our last chat, me and Bailey's, because of how receptive she was and understanding and how empathetic she was to hearing what I had to say, even though I openly was like, you know what, I did try to backdoor you. I didn't want to blow up Hot Chocolate's game. So I tried to gear around other honest feelings that I was feeling as to why I wanted that to happen. But I really respected how she handled that and um, how she spoke to me after the fact as well. She was very inclusive. She always asked me if I was okay, and I'm like, you don't have. She didn't have to do all that, so I really respected that. So it's almost like that to me and her character. I almost would be vouching for her to win as well if it wasn't
Hmm.
any of Hot Chocolate. But definitely Todd, Tola, and maybe Lexus, just because, yes, she was in Hot Chocolate, but it was probably somebody that I had the least relationship with, like the least significant relationship with. I didn't know her. She spent a lot of time with Matt and on the other side. So I didn't get to spend and develop that relationship with her. And then this kind of happened. So that's. Could also contribute, but anyway.
Okay, so I want to ask here at the Reality Kingdom, we like to keep it real. So, do you feel like you played this game too real, or do you feel like you were not real enough?
I think I played it, I honestly think I played it too real. Um, I think I played it too real and was too knee deep in hot chocolate that I forgot about the possibility of that not working and have to, you know, I might have had to rely on Bailey or the Girls Alliance. Um, so I definitely think that I think I played it too real and too good, where I was trying to divert attention off of hot chocolate, and it ended up, I think, diverting too much attention on me, and the fact that, I tried to split up from hot chocolate. Anthony made a point that the girls were hanging too close together, so I tried to talk to Tola more and talk to other people in the house, but then other people perceive that as, well, she's working with the other side of the house because she's talking so much with these people now. So
All
something
right.
happened there. I don't know. I think I played it too real, and tried to cover too many bases when I should have tried to fly under the radar more.
All right, Kayla. So my last question for you is if there was something you would change about your game or the way you played, what would it be?
Definitely keeping more to myself, and thinking before. Sometimes I have a habit of like word vomiting, and it's just because I'm so eager sometimes to talk about things, or especially with the people that I trust. But I don't know if it was because I was too trusting of people that I should have developed a better relationship with first. Um, but I definitely would have kept more to myself, because I think there would have been a chance that I could have stayed in that house had I done that. But
All
it's a
right.
game.
It's a game. Okay, thank you for talking to me. It was so great speaking to you. You're wonderful. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you so much, Pharaoh. Have a